Friends, in this lecture we will learn about BRD or Business Requirement Documentation. Information technology projects are initiated to meet business requirements. The information technology projects succeed, then they deliver the intended business requirements. They fail, then they fail to do so. It looks easy to define business requirements and then choose among them to be delivered for information technology implementations. But in reality it needs the master to understand business requirements, document them properly, and also gain acceptance with the stakeholders that these requirements are the ones to be addressed in the information technology project at hand. No wonder business requirements documentation is an inseparable part of an information technology project. It is also a favorite topic of discussion of interviewers interviewing for information technology business analyst and managerial positions. Let us now move on to the agenda of this session on business requirement documentation. Friends, allow me now to take up the agenda of this session. At the start we will first have a brief introduction and will also set the context of this lecture. Then we will name various requirement documents which are prepared on an IT project. We will introduce to you the readers or consumers of these requirement documents. Good practice of documenting requirements will be discussed next. These good practices are also to be kept in mind when we prepare a business requirements document. With all this understanding and clarity, we will now take up the following. What is a business requirement document or BRD? What are business requirements? Why do business requirements change? What are the objectives of the BRD? Who utilizes the BRD? Good BRD practices. And finally we will take up structure for a BRD document. While we discuss the structure of a business requirements document, we will also discuss what not to write in a business requirements document. Finally, this session will close with a summary. Let's now start with introduction. A business requirement document is normally prepared by the client or its representative before RFP or request for proposal for IT project is prepared. The BRD talks about the new requirements of the business to be fulfilled to meet the company goals, objectives, mission and vision. In the coming sections of this session we will also learn why business requirements change with time. In this session, when we talk about BRD or business requirement document, it is to be underlined that it is being discussed with respect to IT projects being developed and implemented to meet the identified business requirements. Before we dive into the depths of a business requirement document, let us get acquainted with various requirement documents which are prepared for an IT project. Some key requirement documents associated with IT projects are Vision Document, Business Requirement Document, Scope Document, Feasibility Study Document, Software Functional Requirement Document, As Is, To Be Study Document, User Requirement Analysis Document, and Software Requirement Specification Document. In addition to these requirement documents, when an IT project is completed, various reference documents are also prepared. They are minutes of meeting and agenda, questionnaires and responses, interview notes and presentations. Out here in this session we will not get into details of all the key requirement documents and reference documents. We will do it in other video sessions. Now let's understand who reads these documents. Readers of requirement documents are project sponsor and users, project development team, test management team, implementation team, business analyst himself, subject matter experts, and other stakeholders as the case may be. To get into details of these stakeholder roles, you can go through our video session on stakeholder analysis. I am sure by now you want to take me to details of a business requirement document, but before we do that, let us learn good practices for requirements documentation. The purpose to discuss this here is the fact that these good practices apply to documenting business requirement documents as well. Friends, the first good practice is to define the standard document structure for your requirement document. The document structure for various requirement documents may vary from one company to another. However, for a particular organization, the document structure of particular requirement document should be standardized. It means we follow the same structure of a requirement document on a company-wide basis. This results into an easy reading for the readers. They know what content to expect and where in a requirement document. It also becomes easy for the reviewers of the document to do quality checks and of course you can't tailor it to suit particular requirements of your own enterprise. Now we will move on to next good practice, which is explaining how this requirement document can be utilized. Second good practice to prepare requirement documents is to have a section within the requirement document where we explain how to use the document. Here you should explain different category of readers. This requirement document is aimed at different sections of interest for a particular audience should also be explained. Say for example in a stakeholder requirements documents, various stakeholder types have interest in their own set of requirements, so they would like to jump to the relevant area within the document dependencies, which mean if particular sections of requirement document has references to some other documents, then those pointers must also be provided. If to understand the requirement document for a section of it you need a particular technical background from the reader, you must explain the same as well. Now it is time to move on to requirement document good practice 3. Requirement document good practice 3 is to define specialized terms. This means you have to prepare glossary for your requirement document. In fact, glossary of words is an integral constituent of a requirement document. It checks multiple interpretation of commonly used terms or words by stakeholders. I generally keep glossary at the start of the requirement document. It then generates attention even from the most busy executives. I will share my tip for preparing glossaries in a quick and an effective manner. Across several projects I prepare a common glossary for the domain and then utilize relevant terms after making suitable amendments for the project in question. Requirement documentation good practice 4 is to adapt standard notations, for example BPM and UML notations. Wherever needed, you should not rely only on your natural language abilities to write the requirement document. You can use UML and utilize specialized requirements softwares to prepare your requirement documents. With all this knowledge about various requirement documents, now it is time to learn about business requirements and the business requirements document or BRD. Let us now understand what are business requirements and why do they change. Business requirements are the critical activities of an enterprise that must be performed to meet the organizational objectives while remaining solution independent. The following are the examples of business requirements. Example 1. An insurance company wants to provide 24/7 loss intimation facility to the insureds because competition has done the same. Example 2. A pharma company wishes to impart timely new product knowledge to its medical representatives. Example 3. IT company wants to increase its assessment effectiveness and assessment throughput to individuals applying for various jobs. Next we will dwell upon the changing nature of business requirements. Business requirements change because of several reasons. They can change due to change in customer preferences, change in competitor offerings, change in regulation, availability of new technology at an economically viable price, change in company strategy and offerings. Now the enterprise or the company has to meet these changing business requirements in order to keep itself competitive and relevant in the marketplace. The changing business requirements can be met by one or more of the following ways: by organization restructuring, new hiring, etc. By introducing new software solutions, by developing new products and services, so initiating new IT projects. Implementing new IT solutions is one of the many ways to meet changing business requirements. However, today IT has become an integral part of any change, so even if we do organizational restructuring, we may need an additional IT solution to be deployed as an aid to this restructuring. What is a business requirement document? A BRD addresses business requirements of the project and does not recommend solutions. Who prepares the BRD? Normally a business analyst or a consultant on client roles prepares the BRD when client and software vendor work in close collaboration. The IT business analyst of the software vendor can also prepare the BRD. Objectives of a business requirement document. Let us now learn what are our objectives when we prepare the BRD. The BRD is prepared to gain agreement with stakeholders about business requirements. It provides a guidance to technology service provider about business requirements for designing the technical solution. The BRD also describes the needs of business and customers to be met after implementation of this project. The BRD Template. Before I take you to my recommended BRD template, there is a caveat. There is no single standard BRD format which is followed everywhere. There is no single method to arrive at business requirements and to prioritize them. When you prepare a business requirements document, you can follow the following template toward documents structure: contents of a BRD template, cover page, version control and approvals, index, glossary, business requirements, summarize, project scope, stakeholder analysis, detailed business requirements summary, and references. What a business requirement document does not include is the following: software solution requirements, budgets, costs, timelines, etc. Functionality or functional requirements of the software, UML, BPM, and diagrams, etc. Software specifications, hardware specifications. In this short but a packed session, you have learned a lot about a business requirements document. Friends, allow me now to summarize this session. The BRD captures the requirements of the business which should be fulfilled to meet the company goals, objectives, mission and vision. The BRD is referenced by all the stakeholders of the IT project. The BRD allows you to align functional and non-functional requirements of the software with business goals, objectives and requirements. QBI Institute conducts IT business analyst training programs, Agile certification programs, and Six Sigma programs. You are welcome to call us now. A warm thank you for editing this session.